Hey everyone, it's Bree, and in this video, we're going to talk about how you can monetize an API. So most APIs need the same things before they can charge money, like authentication, accounts, billing, metering, payment collection, and usage enforcement. But Pay is a new tool that gives you a whole different model. Instead of building a full billing system first, your API can just return a standard 402 payment required, and Pay handles the payment challenge, verification, and retry flow. So let's see what that looks like. By the end of this video, you'll have a local pay gateway that returns a 402 payment required for metered endpoints, verifies payment, and forwards the request. Now, one thing to note, Pay does have two sides. One is for consumers to use PayCurl, PayCloud, or PayCodex to access paid APIs. And then the other is for providers to use the Pay server to run a payment gateway in front of their own API. In this tutorial, we're focused just on the provider side. So if you're also interested in the consumer side, I'll link a separate video in the description. Now let's get started with this demo. So I already have the Pay CLI installed on my machine. If you don't, you can just install it with brew install pay, and I will link the GitHub in the description of this video. But once you have the CLI installed, you can start out with just building out your config for the endpoints. And the Pay CLI actually is a scaffold to help you out with this. So I'm in a temporary directory. I'm going to type in Pay. So Pay server scaffold, and that is going to generate a file for my server. And you can see it created it. And I'm just going to open that so you can see what it looks like. Here is the scaffold. Now I have my own config that I created for this video, so I'm just going to update this to exactly what I want with the specific endpoints that I want. Okay, so this file, it's essentially the contract for the gateway. You can see here there's a health endpoint, and that's free because it doesn't have a metering block. But then if you look down here, you can see V1 report. That's a paid endpoint because it has a price. And here's the price to be able to call that endpoint. And anything that's not listed here is blocked with 404. So this is important because this file basically acts as an allow list as well. Now, once you have this file, you're going to be able to start the gateway. So we'll go back to our terminal, and I'm going to run pay server start, and I'm going to point that to the file that we just created. And I want to run this locally, so I specified the bind flag for that. Okay, and now once I run that command, you can see that we now have a server running. And I'm going to open up a new tab here. And now we can actually test out these endpoints. So the first thing I'm going to test out is the health endpoint. So now that the server is running, we can actually test out these endpoints. And I'm just going to split my screen here so you can see the config while we are making these API calls. So the first thing we're going to do is call a free endpoint just how you regularly would with curl. So I'm going to call this free health endpoint. And you can see that it returned an OK here. So that worked. Server's running, endpoint's accessible. Now let's test out calling the health endpoint, which is payment gated. And we're going to do that first with a curl command, just how you normally would call an endpoint here. You can see we get an error. So if we scroll up, you see 402 payment required. And now you can see this endpoint is accessible. However, it errored out because it is gated with a payment and we were not able to complete that payment. And you can also see here that the response includes the payment challenge that the client needs to satisfy. So it hasn't been completed yet. Now let's try out the same exact thing, but we're going to be using pay. So I'll paste in the command for pay here, making that same API call. And one thing that I forgot to point out earlier, we are using the sandbox flag when we make these calls. And the reason is when we're working in sandbox mode, this uses a local net style of test funds through the sandbox. So we don't have to be using any mainnet funds to be able to test things out or demo it. Okay, now I'll run that. Again, this is the same endpoint we tried to hit earlier that returned a 402 payment required. And here we ran the same thing with pay. And you can see that it returned a status OK, and it was able to complete our request. So what's happening here is Pay reads the challenge, it creates the payment proof, retries the request, and then the gateway verifies it before returning the response. Okay, so that was like a high level overview of just how Pay works. One other feature that I do want to show is that you can have a split endpoint. So let's add recipients and have a split endpoint here. Now, this is where Pay becomes more than just a simple paywall. The paywall can include split roles. So one API call can distribute revenue across the API operator, partners, affiliates, processors, and other recipients. Now let's test out this and make sure that it works. So I'm just going to clear out my terminal and let's talk about another feature with Pay, and that is the proxy mode. So far, if you go into this file, you can see for our routing, the only type that we've used is respond. And this is perfect for demos. But in production, a lot of providers would want their routing type to be proxy, so then they can forward Pay requests to an upstream API. So if we update the file, this is what it would look like to have a proxy type routing. And the gateway keeps your upstream API key. So the client pays the Pay gateway, the gateway verifies the payment, and then it injects the upstream credential and forwards the request. So the customer never receives your provider API key. And then another feature that I want to go over is if your upstream has an OpenAPI or Google Discovery document, Pay can serve a filtered version of the OpenAI JSON file. So that would work with this command. You're going to start your server with an OpenAPI JSON. And the important detail here is that Pay filters the OpenAPI document, so only the endpoints that are listed. So all of your endpoints that are listed in this file, it's going to filter to only access those. So this means that agents discover the paid surface that you actually want to expose and not your entire upstream API. And once the gateway works, you can publish a provider listing to the Pay Skills registry. And that's what lets Pay Skills search Claude and Codex to discover your API without having to guess URLs. Now, that's everything that I wanted to go over for the provider side of Pay. You define your routes, prices, and routing rules, and then Pay turns those routes into an HTTP 402 paid endpoints. So the clients and the agents use Pay to satisfy the challenge, and the gateway verifies the payment before delivering the API response. So for API providers, this is the way to start monetizing endpoints directly without having to build a traditional billing stack first. Check out the Pay repo in the description of this video, and to check out the consumer side of Pay, check out the other video that's linked in the description. Thanks everyone.